everyone. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am doing New 52 versus old school modern Batman. I've talked about this before. I talked about it in my Batgirl and Nightwing review. So for those of you who aren't aware, on September 1st, 2011, DC redid every title they have. That's Justice League. So Superman, Batman, Nightwing, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all of those were redone in something called the New 52. And while I didn't mind all the other titles of DC going through this rehash, it really bothered me because we were moving away from the modern Batman. Now, for those of you who are unaware of how to get into the modern Batman, I'm going to do another video explaining it. In fact, I already did. So I will link that down below, and that is where I talk about how to get into Batman, and I talk about both the New 52 and the modern Batman especially, because the New 52 is based on the modern Batman, but with twists, which is confusing. Now, I started to get into the modern Batman via the wiki page that I mentioned, which is a list of all Batman comics chronologically, which is release date and when they take place in the universe, because they do build on one another. That is true for the New 52 especially. They're all numbered, as you can see right here, numbers right there. But even in the New 52, they are built on this, such as the Long Halloween. This is Face to Face, and things like a death in the family, not death of the family, a death in the family. That's a really big one, and it is important and integral, especially to a title I don't have on me right now, which is Red Hood and the Outlaws. You really need to at least know what happened in a death in the family. They kind of tell you, but there was a lot more to it, and it was a lot darker than you think. Modern Batman versus New 52. Let's just go over it. New 52. It is super easy to get into. All you have to do is pick a title, and you go to volume 1. Because again, they all have these lovely numbers right here, so you can just pick them up. This has no title. You have no idea where this fits in. In fact, I had no idea where it fit in when I bought it and read it. And I kind of sort of only know it because Tim is involved and there's an important event that takes place in this graphic novel. And the whole premise of this graphic novel hinges on an important event in the modern DC and Batman universe. But I'm still not exactly 100% sure. So, point to them. But there's more depth to the modern Batman. There are so many. It's been going around since the 1980s. Again, A Death in the Family, which has freaking 70s Nightwing in his disco-spangled outfit. It's not really spangled, but his disco, glittery, shiny, ABBA-esque outfit. That happens in A Death in the Family. Whereas their uniforms are modern in here. But there's just so much more to read. It's easier to just ignore the timeline and just find little stories that pull you in. Another point for these guys. Let's talk about costume-wise. As I mentioned before, costumes change a lot. You can tell when it was published based on the outfits that the characters are dealing with. Like Tim's outfit. You can tell that this was post Batman the Animated Series because Robin's got pants. Because they're kind of new, all the outfits are basically the same, and they're all very modern. So point to them costume-wise. Technology-wise, again, it varies. Modern, 2011 onward, point to them again. But the big question, stories. I mentioned before, you can get lost in the little stories here. But the classics, the Batman stories no fan should not read. The Long Halloween, A Death in the Family, Bruce Wayne, Murderer, Batman Incorporated, the original, because apparently the second one is New 52, but the first one isn't. Yeah, transitional. So let's just take that down. The Crisis, that's all modern. And well, those all are mentioned in the New 52. It's not part of the New 52. So at the heart of it, point goes here. Which one do I think wins? Which one do I think y'all should read? You should read all of it. Basically, New 52 or not, Modern Batman or not, both of them are great. There is no Golly Gee Batman. There are some spangled outfits in Modern, but this is post Golly Gee Batman. This is the serious, the darkness that is in the animated series, that is in the new movies, the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan. All of that is in both of these. So we're not going to be dealing with the lameness of the Batman. No, Modern Batman took that away. And without Modern Batman, we won't have the majority of the New 52. While the New 52 does change it, it's still much better for you to read Batman and Son instead of just stick to Batman and Robin and go off of the New 52. So I think you should read all of it. So again, I will link down below how to get into Batman, both how to get into the New 52, which is really easy, but also how to get into Modern Batman so that you can read The Long Halloween and you can read Batman Year One. And honestly, Batman Year One's better than Batman Zero Year by a lot. So I love them both, and I think that all fans should just pick them up. And everything's falling over, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more. This technically is my book review of the week because I'm reviewing both series and comparing and contrasting and basically saying they're both amazing, so go get your butt on it. Now, because Friday is Halloween, I am going to be doing something a little different. So stick around to see that. I hope you enjoyed this. Good luck with your reading, whether it be comics or regular novels, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Ignore my bookmark. Batgirl versus Batgirl. So for those of you who don't know, on September 1st, I can't talk. We're moving away from the Modern Batman. Oh, this is the New 52. That's confusing. Whatever, I'll put that down. You need to know what a death in the family, what that happened. Wait, I'm not making sense. In order to read Red Hood and the Outlaws, we don't, yeah, you do, basically. In the history of the DC Universe, the ABBA-esque is post. That was my toe, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm losing them. And while that's, I just hit myself in the face. That is, ow. I do have that video. I do have my video. As everything falls. Next, I keep repeating myself. I just keep saying the same thing over and over. I don't know why. Let me collect my thoughts while I collect my comics.